Hello and welcome to Shop Talk with Dan the Man. Today's video we're going to discuss this. This is Mastercraft's premium carbide-tipped router bits. Stay tuned to find out more.
Hello, if you're new to this channel, my name is Dan Shannon. I enjoy woodworking as a hobby and being out in the shop. On this channel, dive deep into my shop as we explore tools and tool reviews, as well as chatting about everything related to woodworking. If this grabs you by the tool belt, please subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this.
Hello and welcome to Shop Talk with Dan the Man. If you're new here, thanks for dropping in. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. In today's video, I just want to discuss a little bit about router bits, the differences between router bits, which kind should you buy, and in this particular case, we're going to talk about Mastercraft's premium level router bit. This is a premium carbide tip, 1 1/4 inch router bit setup. So basically all these bits in this case comes in a nice case, so that's a benefit for one. Everything is in its spot. If you know where to find it, you just grab it from its holder and away you go. So that is a great setup for Mastercraft having a case, so everything's in one spot. But let's jump into the features of these bits, and then we'll do some hands-on what they perform like, and then we'll do a follow-up with my final thoughts. Let's jump into the features of these bits. Features of these bits. The biggest thing I can mention about these bits compared to, say, your generic or even the one that came with the router itself, you're going to notice a color difference, and really that's just Mastercraft. Mastercraft's blue. This is Rigid's router bit that came with Rigid's router, and the main difference you're going to notice is how the bits are made, the steel that the bits are formed with. You go from a very basic router bit right on up to a premium grade, which would be these, and I would prefer, if you did buy router bits, that you buy decent ones. You're going to notice a big difference in the overall cutting. So with the carbide, there's different qualities of metal. Every tool has different types of metal they're made out of when it comes to blades, even tool design. So you want to really think about your cutting, because as good as the router might be performance-wise, motor-wise, it's only as good as the blade or the router bit that you're using. So keep that in mind when you're using your router, that you want decent bits. And the features of this case, it just opens up. I really like that it's wood, kind of looks nice. You got 2 hangers. You can hang it on the shelf, or the wall, whatever you want for mounting, and it's easy access. You do have all your bits, and it even shows you the preview of what the bit will do. So if you're going to make a decorative edge, say for this, for example, it'll give you the information on the bottom, and then the bit is right here that cuts that out. So I really like how it's all laid out. Your bits aren't in a drawer. You're not shuffling around wondering, oh, was this the right bit that I used for decorative edge, or what style was it? You can just look at these pictures on the wood strip here and see the exact bit you're looking for. So I really like that. That's a great feature that Mastercraft is built into this case. everything is at quick glance for your router bits. And I also like the fact that you can see from the bit when you're looking at it the profile size. So depending on the size of bit, it'll actually give you different edging and different size cut. Some don't do edging, and the way you can tell that is the bits that won't do edging do not have a wheel on the top. So what the wheel does is it guides it along the wood, and we'll see that with the hands-on, guides it along the board and does a perimeter. So it routes along the edge and it carves in on the border. It has to have this wheel with a bearing so it can do that guide. These other bits are made for carving channels. You can get jigs. So basically, if you want like a finger joint or I mean, the list, it goes on as far as routing capabilities. But basically, if you're doing a standard finger joint, you can actually buy a jig that clamps onto your board, and it's called a finger joint because it looks just like fingers, and your router goes in and out of these grooves, and the template actually is a piece designed for that, and then you'd swap it to the opposite piece, so they literally line up perfect. I do not have those jigs on hand. I'm just kind of starting off, and this channel is meant for beginner shop people, so you're not going to see anything crazy for me. For woodworking, it's very, very basic in a lot of ways, this channel. So I just want to give you some idea of where to dive into, and maybe what kind of tools to set up your shop, so you can start into carpentry and woodworking. Small shop, big shop, no matter the size, just get out in your shop. Well, let's jump back into the bits. Basically, this cabinet, I store my wrenches, so you can take your bits in and off the router. So I just leave those wrenches in here. That way I always know where they're at inside the case. What else is there to look at in this case? There is a small Allen key here, and primarily what that is, each router bit has a Allen bolt on the bottom. So if you need to tighten that or change that out, there is a Allen key provided in the box where you can tighten that up or take that off. So over time, of course, if this is rolling up against the edge, it will eventually loosen. There is a Loctite washer in there, so it shouldn't loosen over time, but if it ever does, you can just take your Allen key at the end and give that a final tighten if you need to. So I do like how Mastercraft has incorporated the Allen key in this box, and of course they have their silver wrench that came with it. I have a black one for my rigid router just because they gave one as well. So I keep both in here. Always good to have all your stuff together. That way you're not scrambling around your shop looking for these different products. All right, so that's pretty much it for features. Nice wooden box, like I said. Get all your bits. Got the information below each one. That way you know what you're looking for when you're doing a project, and the exact cut that it will make. So let's jump into how these bits actually perform on a piece of wood. So let's jump into hands-on. Okay, so we're jumping into the hands-on. I have my router here. I'm going to use, this is Rigid's cordless 18-volt router. I do have a review of this router that you can watch on my channel. I'll leave a link down below. But what you want to do is find the router bit that you want to use for your decorative edge in this case, because this has the top wheel on it to use as a guide. So we're going to do the edge. Now you'll notice here this is way too low of a profile. So we're gonna have to raise it up, and I recommend slowly nibbling away at the wood. Don't use the full bit right away for two reasons. One, it's a lot on your router, and the second reason is you're gonna have a lot of tear out because there's too much bit tackling the wood at once, and it could burn as well. But you do want to clean your router bits every so often for that. So we'll jump into that. So what I want to do on this router is unlock it, move it up so that I'm just starting the router bit, lock it in place, and then now I'm ready to go. You can hook up a shop vac to this one. I'm not going to, but you can if you'd like. And then you just turn it on. All right, you can see that did a really nice pass on that board. Just took the edge off, and if you want just a rounded look, and that's it. You can see the difference there. You can just go ahead with that, but I want to take it down a bit more. It's also good to note I do have a piece of foam. You want something that's fairly grippy just to keep your board in place. You can buy rubberized mats, different products for your router that'll actually be more grippy than this. This is just kind of like a mat that I have lying around the shop, you know, for this. But yeah, once again, safety, make sure that you have a rubberized so your board's not moving around. It can be dangerous, especially if this bit grabs a hold of the board and throws it, because some of these routers are pretty high end for the motor power. So, all right, so now, since we took off that, you're gonna notice we need to lower it. So you unsnap it again, and I can also use this adjustment at the bottom to lower it, or I can just push this down and bring it down manually. So I know exactly where I want it. Okay, so now that we have that exactly where we want it, we can fire it up. Alrighty, so you can see there has a very nice profile edge to it. I really like that. It looks great. These bits do a great job. It's nice and smooth, and part of that smoothness is because I clean my router bits each time that maybe not every time I use them, but once I notice there's buildup on the carbides, I will take WD-40, take them out, ones that I've used, and make sure all the edging is cleaned. A lot of times you can get burn marks because of the heat buildup on the carbide will actually score the wood and heat it up. So you always want to make sure your carbides on your router bits are nice and clean. So that's just kind of a maintenance tip for your router bits. So yeah, as you can see, you know, it performed really nice. You got lots of sawdust, nice clean finish. You can just run some sandpaper, just give it a quick little going over, and yeah, there's your edging. And I really like these bits. Find they do a great job. So let's jump into some final thoughts. Okay, some final thoughts on these router bits. I would definitely recommend these router bits for anyone that's looking to do a bunch of routering. whether it's finger joints for boxes, or whether you're diving into some decorative bordering on your projects, shelving, cabinets. These bits will definitely do the job. Like I said, you want to make sure you clean them, because the extra buildup on the carbide will darken your wood, burn it, and possibly have some performance issues. So you always want to make sure you maintain your bits. I just use a cloth, WD-40, take them out, scrub them off with a nice brush. You don't need anything that's metal, because you want to scrape off the coating that's on the bit itself, but I would recommend keeping those clean. Is there better bits out there? Yes, I'm sure there is. As far as my shop and my needs, I've always said, no matter how big or how small your shop is, based on your tool and what you're doing, I would recommend these bits for anyone that's starting off, or anyone that wants to do any professional routering. These bits will definitely come through for you for that. And like I said, with this box, it gives you all the different bits, so it's all in one place, all in one spot. It's not in a drawer, all rolling around. So you have everything at your fingertips. It even has the sticker to show you what that bit can do. So I really like that. If you're doing a project, you can really just glance at this and say, oh, great, that's the exact profile I'm looking for. And I would recommend as well, before you take one of these bits and put it on a project that you're finishing off, take a scrap piece of board and run it on the scrap board first, just to get that look at it, say, yes, this is what I want, and then apply it to your finished product. So once again, thanks for stopping in, watching today's video. Please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not already, please click on that subscribe button to be part of the Shop Talk family. And yeah, thanks for stopping in. And like I said, no matter how big or how small your shop is, just get out there and enjoy it. Get yourself some router bits, a router, and just have fun with it. There's so many projects, so many things you can do with a router to dress up a project that you're working on. And yeah, so have a great day, and we will see you in the next video.